My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC Vegas 34, we have Connecticut's own William Knight versus Fabio Cherant. William Knight, 9-2 overall, 3-2 in his last five, coming off of that loss where he was just out-wrestled like crazy. Fabio Cherant, 7-2 overall, 3-2 in his last five as well, and he is coming off of that submission loss to oh my God, what was
Alonzo Menafield.
Alonzo Menafield. He just fought last week. This is actually an interesting fight, and William Knight is a massive favorite here. I totally understand why.
I thought you were going to say a massive human being. I was already like, oh, yes, he is.
Yeah, settle down. So William Knight, huge favorite, and I totally understand why. It's a little worrisome, but he has incredible power. He's incredibly explosive. He does have good takedowns. And then when he's on top, he is on top. Lots and lots of power. He works well against the cage, and he has deceivingly good cardio when he can dictate where the fight goes. So, Nick Newell, who does our show, and, he's just been stupid busy lately, he's broken down William Knight in the past and trained with William Knight and talks about how his cardio is so amazing. And then last fight, William gassed. The difference is in his last fight, he didn't get to dictate the pace. He didn't get to dictate where it went. He was just wrestled. So I do think in this fight, William being able to wrestle or, dictate where it goes, he'll be able to show that cardio that he has had in other fights. Fabio Cherant has really good power in his left hand. He's deceivingly athletic. He doesn't look like an athletic guy, but he does move well. He is very athletic. He has good submissions, even though he didn't get to showcase that in his short notice loss. But he also needs to dictate where that fight goes he can't dictate where the fight goes because he has no wrestling. He has decent jiu-jitsu, but he can't make it go to the ground. He has to hope he gets taken down and then work from there. So in this fight, really the path is William Knight by knockout or TKO on top. Fabio Cherant probably not going to catch William Knight with that big left hook. Maybe gets taken down, works himself into some sort of sweep and pulls something off. But William Knight is absolutely the pick. What I do like here bet-wise is they set the line, the round line at 1.5. I love the over on that. I absolutely love the over on that. I do not think that this will be over in under 1.5 rounds. But William Knight is absolutely going to win this fight. He is in my DraftKings lineup. There may be some Connecticut bias in there, but, I do think William Knight gets this done. Jacob, since you're looking at the screen, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think William Knight definitely probably should win this fight, but he better be very careful about just trying to use his athleticism in this fight because he's going to be the more athletic guy. And you see him a lot, even when he's like on his back for takedowns. A lot of it is just athletic, raw strength because he is just an animal, and that usually works. But against Fabio, and if you do a little bit of research on Fabio, his camp for this fight, which has been delayed a couple times, he's at Sanford MMA now. So he's with a great camp. I think he's honestly a more well-rounded fighter than William, because I think William is more about athleticism more than technique at times. So I think technical-wise, I think Fabio's the better fighter. I still think William should win this fight because, he has that athletic ability, but he better be careful. And I wouldn't pay I technically wouldn't pay 9,400. I didn't. He's not in my lineup. He should win, but I would be very careful with Fabio because he's a lot better than people think.
He's definitely better than people think. And, listen, we're both Connecticut guys. That may be playing into why I put in my DraftKings lineup because $9,400 is a lot. And Fabio Cherant, if you look at his last fight, it looked awful. But he took that fight on like 4 or 5 days notice.
And that it wasn't really awful. He jumped on like a guillotine or something that was halfway tight against Alonso, and then Alonso went down. He just got caught with that Von Flute choke or whatever. Where I mean, those always sneak up on people. It doesn't seem like anyone's really ready for that. So he definitely tried to get
everybody's calling for you to make Fabio your lock of the week because we know how that goes. Danny boy, what are your
that
thoughts?
means everyone's betting on Knight and they want to make sure they're going to win.
Yeah, we're funny, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I went through the tape and I was going to go with Knight, really based on cardio aggression and his ability to get to the ground. I wouldn't say he has great wrestling, but he's strong enough and explosive enough to figure out ways to get on the ground. He looks to be, good in scrambles, good on top, obviously an explosive guy with ground and pound. And I was leaning that way. And then I listened to an interview of Cherant. Well, let's rewind. So the tape on Cherant, he looks like he's got a ton of skills. Good striker, similar to the other fight we were talking about. He just doesn't look like he has a sense of urgency. Like he doesn't look like he has much takedown defense. He kind of sits back and he's willing to just fight from a distance. He never looks like he's got that aggressive nature to go in for the kill. So that's why I was like, man, Knight's going to be all over him, get him to the ground. I think he's going to have a problem and probably get finished on the ground. Then I was just listening to one of his interviews, and as Jacob said, he's now training down at Sanford. And I don't know, just the demeanor of his attitude in the video, it seemed like I don't know. Do you watch the same interview, Jacob?
Yeah, I would say the same thing because he was talking about where he was looking for a camp before he went to Sanford, but he made a point to say I was still working hard even though I wasn't in camp. I was still working my ass off.
Yeah, he made it seem he implied that there's some sort of bad blood there and he's motivated. I don't know. I could have just been reading between the lines, but it felt like there was some sort of personal issue or whatever it is, but he seemed motivated. He didn't want to mess around. The guys asked him, he's like, oh, normally you're joking around. You're not even, he's like, yep, this camp is differently, basically is what he was saying. And when he's down there with legit training partners every day, some of the best in the world, it looks like he's got all the skills, the talent, the build, the athleticism. We could see a different fighter this time around. So from what I understood when he was in Connecticut, he kind of bounced around from camp to camp, which it's hard to do that at this level. So he's going to have a full camp at a good training camp down here. And I wouldn't be surprised if he surprised some people. So I'm going to go on a limb. I'm making him my pick. Not very confident, but I think the value is on his side. What's he at now? Plus 184. Okay, yeah. I think there's some value on that. But tread lightly. I wouldn't be surprised if he got taken down in the first 2 minutes and smashed.
It's funny because this is almost like a heavyweight fight, meaning anybody can knock each other out, right? You get that feel with the heavyweight fights where even if it's a really evenly matched fight, somebody could put somebody away at any moment. It kind of feels like that. I do think William Knight's going to win. But you guys, we knew how good Fabio was when he fought Alonzo Menafield. We broke down that fight. Go back and watch it. We were all pretty high on Fabio. We didn't say he was going to win, but we were pretty high on him and his skills, and we're saying, just relax. This isn't the lock that everybody thinks it is, but that was short notice. This is not. I think it's closer than the odds. I think it's closer than DraftKings, and my Connecticut bias is probably showing through, but I do like William to win this fight. I do think his offensive wrestling, he'll be able to take him down. I don't think he'll get submitted on top, and I think he'll just lay out heavy bombs on top and put Fabio Cherant away. But Fabio is a talented dude. So the Sanford MMA is
one, not to extend it, but like it's funny because I saw it that way too, and then I'm like, his offensive wrestling is not really, and this is no knock on him, it's not really technical wrestling. Like he's kind of gotten guys down. Yeah. But I mean, it's like, let's put it this way: if Cherant is at a training camp with high caliber wrestlers shooting in on him for 8 weeks, it's not going to be easy, strength or not, for William Knight to get a clean takedown. And if he does it where it's all muscle, I know he's got good cardio, but man, that is not an efficient way to fight a fight. So I don't know. We'll see. I think this one should be more of a pick 'em just based off of both their skill sets.
And I'm gonna make a prediction too that based off of William Knight's Instagram, when they take the new pictures for this fight card, he's gonna look even better than this picture is showing right here.
That's weird.
Wow.
Weird
What
guy.
what
Cherant does
amazing.
need to fight with a sense of urgency, though. I don't care where he trains. If he fights with that passive, whatever, backup movement type thing, he's going to get taken down and smashed.
The last thing I'll say here is the Monkey Knife Fight line is, I have no idea. I do think that this fight goes over 1.5 rounds. I placed that bet. WeOnPicks.com/bets. I'm very confident in the over 1.5 rounds. Not well, as confident as you can be when you have two dudes with this much power. The Monkey Knife Fight line is hard, man. I could see under or more. I can see it either way. That's a really hard line. I think I'm going to wait till it moves before I play that line.
Yeah, less. I don't know. Just thinking someone's going to get taken out early, but yeah, it's a tough line. I wouldn't touch that one.
Yeah.